Hi parents and guardians, welcome to the video version of Chemistry Syllabus this year. Thank you for choosing this option. There's also the written one you're welcome to go back and look at and read over. Just like how you chose the video option, your kids will have multiple options to how they look at materials this year. They'll have usually 3 to 4 options of seeing learning opportunities and practice opportunities along with me as an option. This is going to be used hopefully to give them the most personalized and beneficial information as they go forward. With technology currently in today's world, there's lots of ways to learn things, and we want to get them the best and most efficient way of gaining information that they can. Science in general this year, and specifically my class, is going to be focusing on things a little differently. Our goal in general is that learning is the true goal. We want that to happen, and for that to occur, students have to really take ownership of their learning. And to do that, they need to make choices, and they need to be the true person who wants the learning to happen. And with that in mind, they have to be able to take the choices of which learning options they do. And so when we have discussions around the learning happening in the classroom, I'll be asking questions more like, what do you know? What does not make sense yet? What part of that test or quiz are you still confused about? Rather than questions that may have been more common in the past, such as, what was your score? Did you do it? And, well, if it's done, don't you have it? Because we're less concerned about whether or not students have done something, and more not whether they've learned the topic. So some kids may need to do 4 or 5 things to understand the topic. Some may need just 1. So we don't care. If you can hear that, it's my cat who sometimes chimes in on videos. 1 of 2. Yes. Hi. Say hi. Voila. 1. Okay. That'd be Nova. Beauty is sleeping. Anyway, we're focused on the learning at the end goal. If they can do it really quickly for 1 unit, awesome. Then we're not going to make them do extra work. If it takes them longer for another one, then that's okay too. The goal is learning in the end. So we want them to do as much work as needed to get there, but we're not going to make them do extra work or busy work. That's just pointless. We're not trying to hold anyone back just because other people are there. So this opens up some interesting opportunities. If a student has a lot of activities going on this week, sports games, church, family outings, vacations, whatever it may be, they can schedule their time more effectively, and they can choose to work ahead before that and go beyond where they need to be, and then not need to put as much time into chemistry during this week where they're busy. Or you know, hey, I don't have much going on this week, I can purposely go ahead, or oh, next week's going to suck, plan for that, and budget their time accordingly. Time management is another factor we're trying to work on, and something that sometimes kids have trouble with. We need to help them get there. Now, with all that in mind, we're going to look at the grading policy that science is going to use this year. So they're going to get graded on a 4-point scale. So if they get a 4, that means the student can apply the concepts to a complex type situation, or in multiple ways to the same situation. Maybe like 100%. If they get a 3, that means the student can independently demonstrate full proficiency of the standard or the learning targets. That'd be like an 85%. If it's a 2, that means the student can partially demonstrate the learning targets, or they can fully do it with some support from the teacher. That'd be like a 75%. If they got a 1, it'd be like a 65%. It'd be more like the work. So there's been some work shown, and they're making a little bit of progress, but they're not anywhere near the learning target yet. They still have a ways to go. Not that they won't get there, but they're not there yet. And a 0 would be like a 50% or below. They're not. We don't see any effort or any work. Not that we haven't seen any learning. No evidence of learning has been shown. It's the best way to put that. So with this class system being a little bit different, there are some tips and tricks that the kids and you might want to try to give them a hand. So if a kid knows going to be absent, make sure they look at the calendar to see where they're supposed to be and what they should be working on, and come to class with questions. Always, but especially if they're going to be absent. And if students have multiple options for learning opportunities, they may not get all of it the first time. Just like if you're watching this video, you may want to still skim through the written syllabus and go through it and see if there's things you want to look at in more detail. The tips and tricks might be handy. You may want to look over the 4-point grading scale that I talked about and see what that looks like, or copy it down, take notes like the kids would do. And so other tips for the kids, have them ask questions is a really important part of it. And so there's other tips and tricks in the written syllabus that I'll let you look at if you'd like, which could come in handy for your kid, but I don't want to make this video go on too long because then people don't tend to pay attention. And so the last thing I'd like is, either way, go back to the end of the syllabus. There's a link there or a QR code, if you like using those, for you to fill out saying, hey, yes, we read the syllabus, and here are our names, email addresses, and contact info, and just a little bit about you or your kid, so I can send out communications as often as possible. I tend to contact most often through email, but if you really don't like that, there's a spot in there you can also say what other ways you prefer to be contacted, and I'll try and do that as well. If you want to contact me about anything, anytime, email, call, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible, and I'm sure we can have a great discussion about what it is. I'm excited for this year. Let's make learning happen.